Woo! Oh, this is really fun here. HaMitzvah Rishona, the first commandment in the Sefer Bamidbar, in this book of Bamidbar in the desert, Limanos, to count at Bnei Israel. How do they call it in English, this book? Numbers, book of Numbers. And they call it the book of Numbers because also in Hebrew, I don't remember when it stopped, but it's called Sefer Pekudei. It's referred to as Sefer Pekudei. The Pekudei means counting. So this book is called the book of Numbers. In Hebrew, it's called Bamidbar because the whole thing was said, those the first words. This is all said in Midbar Sinai. The first commandment in this book is to count the number of Jews. Sa'u et Rosh Koladat Bnei Israel. Lift up the heads, make a head count of all of the congregation of the Jewish people. Here we go. Al Shem Davar Zeh, because of this, Nikra B'Gemorah, in the Gemorah, it is called Sefer, whatever is referred to in the Gemorah is referred to as Sefer Pekudim. This book of Numbers is called Numbers, Pekudim, Numbers. Minyan, counting, who davar is a thing, she'en lo kesher, that has no connection, the tochen, to the content, the enu more klal, and it doesn't show on the content of the thing that's counted, right? 10 apples, 10 human beings, 10 diamonds, right? 10 plagues. It's number 10. Number 10 applies to all of these things equally, even though they're totally different from one another. Number 10 shows absolutely nothing. Shekein hakol nimna kamida shava. Everything is counted equally. The lo havdel bein gadol, bein katan, bekamus or beichus. Same thing counting the Jewish people. It made no difference if you count the Jewish people. It means no difference if the people were small, if they were big. Hagadol yoter, a big person, a rich person, you figure he'd be worth more. No. Eino mehave gabe minyan yoter miguf echad is only one unit. Vakatan, and the small person, eino pachod, is not less than one. Vakatan is one. Minyan eino mitzayin kolal chashivuto. Therefore, number, or if we want to call it the what is it, the quantity, does not have anything to do necessarily with quality. Right? You can imagine a person winning the lottery and say, you have just won 1 million. 1 million what? If you won 1 million, what are you worried about? Don't worry, it's 1 million. But 1 million what? What 1 million, what did I win? 1 million, you just won 1 million. 1 million traffic tickets, you won 1 million diamonds, $1 million. What did I win? 1 million. Doesn't make any difference. 1 million. Of course it makes a difference. What are you talking about? The number doesn't show anything about what is being numbered. If so, we have a question. Why did God want to, oh, this is even better. What is this? What happened? There we go. Also, this condition that was, I'll read it from inside, even though the condition that was given. It says that not everybody got counted. First of all, only the males got counted. And it was only the males from 20 years up. They can't be any less than 20. This is also, this is nothing to do with the nature or the work or the character or the value of the person. We're talking about, doesn't make any difference if it's a person that you're counting as a criminal, a person is a big tzaddik, if he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a thief. Ki'im bo b'meshech hazman hari mechusar zman lav k'mechusar ma'aseh dami. Says it just that a person, in other words, a person becomes 20 years old. What? It's automatic. It's automatic. I think it comes to, so that doesn't show on the nature of the person at all because he's younger than 20, he's older than 20. Okay, so if so, we see that counting and even in this case, where it's only counting people that are 20 and up, does not have any indication of what is being counted. Because it's so it's only external. It has no connection to the inner importance. So if so, it's not understood. According to this, why should this be the first commandment? Mitzvah yesod, the foundation of this whole book. Ajakula, the whole book is called Sefer Pikudim. The whole book is called Numbers. Right? In the Gemara, it's called Sefer Pikudim, the book of counting. Counting is such an external thing. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe you want to count people to know everybody has to give taxes or something. Could be. You want to know if everybody gave taxes. But doesn't really, that's such an important thing for the Jewish people. So essential that the whole book is called on this. Halacha, there's a law. When we'll learn, we'll learn in Yeridea. If we get in Yeridea, learn Hilchos Taruvos. We're learning at a pretty good pace. We'll get up to Hilchos Taruvos. Maybe we'll learn that after the laws of milk and meat. So there's in Kuf Yud, chapter 120 in laws of Taruvos, there's a law of Davar Shebeminyan. A thing which is counted is never batel. A thing which is counted is never batel. What does it mean? If you live in a town, let's say, that they only sell eggs by the number. I think in Kfar Chabad, that's the way it is. They don't sell bushels of eggs. I used to live in a town when I was in university. It was sort of a farming thing over there. And they used to sell on market day. I used to go to the market just to look around. It was nice. Bushels, a bushel of apples, a bushel of eggs, a basket of eggs. A basket of eggs. There were things, but they wouldn't care about the number. A basket of eggs, it has approximately this. It's basically the same thing, right? So people would be a basket, they wouldn't care about the number. If you live in a place where they sell eggs by the basket, then eggs are not considered to be important. But if you live in a place, let's say Kfar Chabad, where they sell eggs or anything else, they sell by number, then that thing is considered to be important. And if you get one egg that you know for sure has a blood spot in it or something, it came from a treif chicken, and that one egg falls into 1 million eggs, all the eggs are forbidden. Until you have to crack them all open until you find this one egg. That's where it goes. Davar shebeminyan, a thing, because it's counted, it has importance, and it's never negated. It always, because one is forbidden, you throw it in, we suspect that all of them are forbidden. Each one, we don't say there's batel barov or batel b'shishim or whatever. 100, 200, says the trumas about 200. No. Because the fact that something is counted, mochicha, this proves the importance of this thing. Because of this importance, nimna kol prat mimenu lechud. Therefore, each one is individual. Every egg is important. So therefore, we don't care if it's a big egg, if it's a small egg. Important, therefore it's counted. Nimsa, so comes out, Shilamaros, that even though the Eina Minyan Mivate Tokno Chashivot Sel Kol Davar Prat, even though that the numbering a thing, it doesn't tell you what the thing is. If it's talking about 10 potatoes, it's talking about 10 diamonds. 10, the number 10. But even though the number doesn't really show the nature of the thing that's being counted, but Hu Mivate Imzot, but it does express the importance of the whole entire thing that you're counting, legabi sugim acherim, in regards to other things. In other words, if, let's say, you live in a place where they count the number of potatoes that are sold, so therefore every potato is important. If you get one forbidden potato, I don't know, a potato of what, of Shemitah or something, potato, and that potato gets mixed up in a million other potatoes, so we suspect that all of them are forbidden. That forbidden potato does not lose its identity as a forbidden potato. If so, counting gives importance. Even though it doesn't say the nature of the thing, but it makes it important. Oh, maybe this is the reason why God said that you count the Jews, because by counting them, it gives them importance. We'll see. But this is not an explanation of why God said to count the Jews. Nachon, it's true. Shemin, meaning that from the number of a thing, when you count a thing, you can understand the importance of that thing, right? In Kfar Chabad, eggs are important. You go to America, I remember it used to be, what is it? The avocados. Oh, you buy avocado, it's an expensive thing. Avocados expensive. You go to other places where this avocado is worth nothing. Avocado, where is it? Thailand. These which one? Pineapples. In Thailand, a pineapple is like nothing. It's like nothing. They sell like a whole pineapple for a penny or something. In New York, a pineapple. If so, in New York, one forbidden pineapple gets mixed up in a million forbidden pineapples. They're all forbidden because the forbidden one did not lose its how do you say, its nature of being a forbidden pineapple. In Thailand, if it gets mixed up, nothing, no big deal, gets lost. Therefore, God counted the Jews. Therefore, the Jews will not be negated. A Jew will always have his identity because he was counted. Says the Rebbe, nice idea, but it doesn't work out so well. Why? Because counting, Shemina Minyan Efshal Lavin, you can understand from counting the importance of the thing. But counting the thing doesn't make it important. Eina Minyan Elosiman. When you count something, it just shows that that thing is important. Below Siba Vagorem, it doesn't cause counting, it doesn't cause it to be important. So if so, why did God count the Jews? To make them important. That's not so. You count a thing only to say that it already is important. So if the Jews already are important, then what do you have to count them for? What does the counting do? Why is it the first thing here? To show that they're important? They're important. That's why we count them. Let's see. Kach move, and also we understand the Hevdel bein etz shedarko limanos or bein kol shedarko manos. Okay, there's an argument. If you look over there in Kuf Yud, there's an argument about when exactly is a counted thing. Does counting make a thing important? So there's one that's called et shedarko limanot, kol shedarko limanot. There are certain things that et shedarko limanot, it's called et, which means simply that it is always counted. In Kfar Chabad, they always sell eggs by the number. Always. Right? You don't go in and buy a basket of eggs. You buy a plate of 30 eggs or whatever it is. Let's say. But then there are places where eggs are important and they aren't important. You know, you can say, I want to buy 5 eggs, or you want to say, I want to buy a bushel of eggs. But 5 eggs, each one costs, 5 cents a piece. A bushel of eggs costs, $4. How many are in there? I don't know, a bushel of eggs. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Right? You can sell them by the bulk. That's called kol shedarko limanot. Sometimes it's counted, sometimes it's not. Et shedarko limanot, hainu davar shedarko limanot tamid. Something which is always counted. Eino mitbatel, it's not negated. The eino lagabi, ve'ilu lagabi kol shedarko limanot. But if it's a thing that occasionally it is counted and occasionally not, davar itim nimkar. Once in a while it is sold by number and sometimes not. Then some people say that it's not. This is not. This yeshnum sovrim she'enu mitbatel. Some people say that this is also important, but other people say no. If it's even once in a while counted by bulk, it's not important. Luaya yitron shel davar shebeminyan. If this whole idea of davar shebeminyan, a thing which is always counted, tamun be'etzem ha'uvda shehi nimna, is in the fact that it's counted, then lo yatzorach liot kol hevdel. There shouldn't be any difference between if a thing is occasionally counted or if it's only counted, always counted. I mean, if a thing occasionally is counted, it means it's important. Shekain ma chashuva ashala im adavar nimna tamid. Because what does it make any difference if a thing is always counted over just occasionally? Even if it's occasionally counted, it means that it's important to somebody. It's important. Since a thing is once in a while counted, it should be that it never is negated, that it retains its uniqueness and identity. But we can say from this, we can say that somehow or other, the uniqueness and the specialness which is in a thing, Eino a minyan, it's not the number. Ilu a minyan, Eino mishamash el siman. if the number of a thing was just a sign of the importance of it. Therefore, some things which are only once in a while counted, Rabbi Yochanan says, and also this is the law, Shadavar Batel, a thing which is only occasionally counted, it's not only counted, that if it gets mixed up, the law is that it does become negated. It does become negated. It doesn't make everything forbidden. So if so, we see that there's different levels of importance that are expressed by counting. Everything is counted once in a while. It's important, but a little bit important. If it's only counted, then that shows that this is important. Now, what's the difference again? If a forbidden thing is always counted and it gets mixed up even in a billion, they're all forbidden. It has to be the same type. One forbidden egg gets mixed up in a billion other eggs, all the eggs are forbidden. You have to open them all. It's crazy law, but that's the law. The rabbis made it up. The rabbis are enjoined from the Torah to make these laws. On the other hand, if a thing is counted only once in a while, only occasionally, as some people say, it's the same exact thing. If it's counted, it's always important, right? Even if it's only counted occasionally. But the law is not like that. The law is only things which are counted all the time have this importance. And things which are not counted all the time, sometimes they are counted and not. If they get mixed up, a forbidden egg like that gets mixed up somewhere in a billion eggs, then the egg is permissible. Even if it gets mixed up in two eggs is permissible. Batal baro. Midbora reifo, so it comes clear. Shuv shekol inyan shel minyan. If so, now we're seeing that counting is not so external as we thought it was. It's not the same thing as if you count potatoes, because here we see that if a thing is counted but only occasionally, it's not so important anymore. And if a thing is always counted, then that makes it very important. Very important. Ketzad, if so, mehava mitzvahs minyan, if so, let's apply this to us. How is this? Now, you have to remember the Torah is a book of teaching. Everything in the Torah is coming to teach us something about our life day to day, not just our religious life and every single day, everything, the whole attitude toward life. What is this coming to teach us? That the first thing in the desert that God counted the Jews at the beginning of this book, the whole book is called by the name of counting. What is so important about counting? So the Rebbe says, first of all, counting is a little bit more important than we thought in the beginning. In the beginning, we thought counting is absolutely nothing. It doesn't make any difference what you count. The number 10, the 10 countries is the same thing as 10 ants. Number 10 says nothing what's being counted. On the other hand, we see that a thing that's always counted has a certain importance to it, to the degree that it's never negated. And maybe that doesn't make it important. It just shows the importance, but it shows the importance. Let's see. Call and everything, and everything in the Torah, nothing in the world is by accident. We learned before, the world is one big body, just like a body. Everything has to work in, what's it called, symbiosis or something with everything else. And it's all one big unit. As also the whole universe, all creation is one big unit. And everything that happens, even the most seemingly insignificant thing in the world, is very important. How much more so in the Torah? Ki'im nogea me'ashkacha pratis. Nothing is occasional. Everything is being directed specifically by Hashem. Nothing happens by accident. Mikan here, okay, we don't know what the principle is that it's making it, this ant gets this blade of grass. Mikan efo hechrech lomar, we must say, she calls Simon the davar mesuyim, that anything which has a sign to it has to be connected to the thing itself. If God says count the Jews, and each Jew gets a number, it must be that this number, somehow or other, numbering is very important to being a Jew. Being numbered is important to being a Jew. Well, I'm not a Jew if you don't count me. We'll see. Also this thing about counting. The fact that counting shows importance. right? Like we say, if you're in a place where they count eggs, they only sell eggs, that means that egg is important. If it gets mixed up in a billion other eggs, all the eggs are forbidden, if that egg is forbidden. Therefore, we have to say that the counting itself must have some connection to importance, has some connection to quality. Hadavarim whose buru we can explain lefian and b'minyan kol inyan chashivus. That what we said before, that counting has no connection to importance, to quality. This mityachsim la'etzem minyan. This is talking about counting itself, right? Like we said, mathematics, right? Mathematics, simple mathematics. It works if you apply the mathematics to cars, or if you apply it to money, or if you apply it to stars, or whatever you apply it to. Mathematics, it's cold. If it's not attached to something important. But when you are counting something important, then the number becomes very important. Then it includes the importance of the thing. But if you have pennies, so it's not that important. You have a bag of pennies, right? So you have a big bag of pennies. It could be maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $998, maybe it's not so important. There's a lot of places where they weigh them anyway. But if it's diamonds, then it's very important. Each one is important. What? I'm sorry, sir, but one is missing. One what? One of the pennies is missing. No big deal. Oh, no, I'm sorry, sir, not the pennies. One of the diamonds is missing. What? One of the one of the atom bombs is missing. What? And so we see that a number can have a very deep importance. Let's see. But counting the thing, true, counting atom bombs is the same thing as counting pennies. The number one doesn't really show anything. But on the other hand, it depends what you're counting. Yuvan and understands Madua Nikra Kala Sefer. We can understand why this whole book is called the book of numbers. It's true that counting really doesn't mean much. But since because the number somehow or other is expressed the importance of the thing you are counting, move and we can understand Madua, why is this book called Chumash Pekudim? Because it's counting Jews, so it's a little bit more important than even counting diamonds and even atom bombs. We're counting Jews. Let's see. Ella Shadavar Ze'atzmo to Havara, but we have to understand this. We'll do one more. That in the counting itself is only an external thing, and the counting is not connected at all to the essence of the thing that you're counting. If so, al yedei ma mishamish hu kli lebitui tochen v'chashivus. I can understand counting pennies, counting diamonds, counting atomic bombs, good. But come on, the Jewish people are supposed to be holy. Jewish people they're not things. How can you count things? And if you want to count them, let's say to know how much taxes they give, good. But don't call the whole book on that. It's not so important. Counting. At first glance, counting is one of the least important things that there can be, because it doesn't make any difference what you're counting. This is a good question if quality and quantity were separate. Then you can say Jews have a quality, it's different. How can you equate a Jew with a quantity, with a number? That would be good if these were two separate things. But the fact of the matter is, Sha'az, Chashivus unimportance, namely Echus quality, Yochlit Bateh, Beminyan with number, right? If you're counting Jews number one, you count the same thing as potatoes. So Jews, no much difference. But Kan Medubar B'nei Yisrael, we're talking about Jews. And the whole thing of a Jew is Goy Echad Ba'oretz. Like the previous Rebbe said, Shebnei Yisrael Osim Gama Oretz. It says, Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'oretz. It says what that's written in the Tefillin of God. In our Tefillin is written, God is one. In God's tefillin is written that Jews are one. What does it mean? Goy echad ba'oretz, we are one. That the Jews bring the echad, they bring the oneness of God, ba'oretz in the earth. Goy echad ba'oretz. In Yanim Artzim, in the physical things, Davrim Gashmi, Bechumim, they bring the oneness of God into even the most mundane things. Bnei Yisrael Kashurim, the Jewish people therefore have kamos ve'echos. And therefore each Jew is a whole world. The more Jews, the more worlds. The more Jews there are, the more godliness. Therefore, by the Jews, number can be an expression of quality. Let's just do one more. Avav, up to vav. Then I'll tell a story. Mishum Akesha, because the connection between quantity and quality. On a roim, we can see gam ki mitosefet hakamas, when there is added on quantity, number. This can also come that you add quality. Take an example of minyan. For instance, when there are 10 Jews, doesn't make any difference if these Jews are holy Jews. What does it say? A tzibor is tzaddik benoni Russia. Im raka kamus, he is elasara. If there's 10 Jews, it says shor shechina, that the shechina is on them. Shekol be'asar shechin tetzorah. That's what it says. On all group of 10, there's the shechina. The ev shalom, or we can say gam davar shebekadusha, and you can say kaddish and kedusha. You can say things of a minyan. Davar mahava hosafa be'echus. Namely, you can say blessings in a minyan, which this means that the extra number brings a whole new type of quality. Kach gam halacha also bezimun. 3 people that ate together, you have to make a zimun. 10 people, you have to say Elokeinu. According to the Mishnah, which this is not, I don't think, the law, if you have 10 people, you could say Hashem Elokeinu, etc. You have the different, so a bigger number of Jews means a totally different quality of godliness that's brought into the world. In fact, the Rebbe is going to say that's the job of the Jews, to connect godliness, the ultimate quality, with the most meaningless thing in the world, which is numbers, quantity. And that's the job of the Jews, to show that every detail, even what seems to be the most insignificant, is really very holy. And that is today's lesson. And now I'll tell you a story.